now. All right. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Where's Rab?
I don't
I'm
know.
I'm right here.
Okay.
This will record only for an hour or will it record all the way?
It'll record all the way. It's recording now. It's been recording.
All right.
And then once this is done, it'll post directly to the YouTube. Well, yeah. All right.
All right.
Who's checking out the chat?
I'm looking at the YouTube
Oh,
channel
I'm
now,
yeah, I'm in there right now.
and I only see the two boxes. I see you and Tony, and that's it.
That's because it'll switch on to you.
Yeah, because
There,
you just popped on, that's why.
there it
There's a
is now.
delay.
Yep. Okay. There it is now. Now, where's the chat at, Corby? Where's that come up at?
It'll
Okay.
be it'll be there we are. It'll be on so it should either be below or to the right.
Wow, there is a delay. It's big time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but see, you can't look at
Yeah,
don't look at
Don't
Biggie
look at the.
just Biggie just said it's all good. I see it now.
All right, so we're live.
Yeah, let's do it. We live.
All right. One quick second.
all right, so Rab, you see the chat on the right hand side, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I wonder if we can chat in our own chat.
We can.
Yeah, we can chat our own chat.
All right, you want to go music? I got
Yeah,
music
sure.
No,
picked out.
I mean you got to be mindful. If whatever music you have, it might be copyrighted. And
Yeah, that's true too.
But if we're even while we're live,
yep,
you suck.
yeah, that's the bad part about this.
This is cool. All right.
So Rab, when you're watching it, don't look at the camera like at your computer because it's gonna look like you're gonna be waiting for everything to happen and everything's delayed. Just
Oh
read
no,
the
I see.
comments.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
So just read the comments. Don't worry about what you're seeing. Just worry about what's in front of us.
All righty.
So
My background. I might want to change my background.
That's fine. I mean,
Just
my
blur it.
background looks like a school. Yeah.
I'll just blur it. There it is. We'll do that.
what background do you have, Rab?
Uh, blur.
A blur?
Yeah.
These glasses too much reflection.
Just a blur.
I need something BME.
How'd you do that?
What do you mean? How did I do that?
Oh, I can add background.
Yeah, I need something BME. Oh, and look at that! It doesn't unless I go like if as long as it stays in front of me, the cup doesn't disappear, which is great. I need the BME backup. We need something BME.
You know, we can create these things.
Yeah, so that's what
Yeah.
I want. That's the thing I want to do is I want to do one for BME, but I just got to figure out.
Rad, why are you in the waiting room?
He kicked himself out.
No, he got two boxes now.
Does he? Oh, he does.
Rad, what are you doing?
He's gonna have to go back in.
I
It's all a
just
learning experience.
I just changed my picture. Tried to change my picture. I don't know what's going on.
Uh
I'm on like rabbit, huh?
yeah.
Okay.
So Rab, when you go down at the bottom of your phone, if you go to more, all the way over to the right,
Okay. Yeah.
and then it says backgrounds and effects.
Yeah,
Then you hit the plus button. That'll let you pull up your pictures from your
gotcha.
phone.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can edit this out.
Yeah, we should be able to edit all of this. Because
Okay.
again, this is why we're on early, so we have a chance. So at 8 o'clock, we just go, hey, be and me.
I hope we can.
Because we got time. Let me see if I can do this whole login to
Yeah,
Facebook aspect.
Let's see.
Biggie's gonna be. Were we able to get into the Book of Faces there?
No, we were
No.
not.
All right.
I was trying to, but it just two platforms to do it on. It shows that you can. It was really difficult to
Yeah.
add that.
Wow, that is a delay. Look at my eyes, man. What the hell's the matter with me?
Maybe I should have logged in under BME. Oh well. They all knew who I am.
Um, this is wild, right?
It is. Because I want to look at the computer and I shouldn't.
Yeah, you can't look at the computer.
Because I'm just gonna be
Whatever
staring there.
whatever you do not look at the computer.
It's like looking into the camera. So I'm only gonna do it when I want to read the chat anyway. So
Yeah.
I should just put something up in front of. I'm gonna put something up in front of the screen so I can't see it and I can only see the chat. That's what I gotta do. There we go. That works. Now I won't get so distracted. So we excited?
I
This is
am.
this is groundbreaking for us.
And we're back.
Yeah.
And we're back. And we're back. I told people we were going to be on YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Well, now I got to go kick my son in the old proverbial backside because I told him pay attention to the dog. Now the dog wants to go out. My son goes to a room and closes his door.
Oh man.
This kid don't listen, man. I'll be right back.
All righty.
All right, let's see.
Hey Erica, welcome. We're just hanging out, pulling things together.
Yep, yep.
Glad you found us okay. Um yeah, Erica, the ladies, the queens have the link, right? Yep.
They do have the link.
So I don't know if you're gonna like use two different because I got a laptop up, Erica, and I got my phone. I'm on the
All they need to do is the phone. They don't need to
yeah,
do what?
Yeah.
yeah. And then we'll have y'all come up like around what 8:05, 8:10, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that range right there. We're just getting things started.
Wow, time flies. It's already 7:50.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah, all of this stuff will get edited out. I can't believe I had Michael Jackson lined up for us tonight.
Yeah, I mean Corby's right. I don't know what would happen if you did that. I'll be right back.
You might as well give us the 5 minute, 10 minute window there. So, all right. Anyways,
I hope the shirts fit them okay.
Yeah, I hope so.
Almost over this cold.
Dude,
Do you,
it
are you
lingers,
Drew?
man. Depending on what you got, man. Sometimes that lingers for like a week, 2 weeks. It's rough.
Yeah, it's just been all in my sinuses. I'm grateful that it didn't reach my chest, man. I was a little concerned with that. And then it was weird because um
Thanks, Drew.
I know. I would say like for like half a day I couldn't taste anything and I was a little worried. But
Oh,
then I was
you had the
yeah,
vid.
right. And then I was good. I'm good. Like I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. Oh, look at that. We're already getting hearts. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to the new era of BME.
Is this the new era? Is this what we're doing?
Well, right now this is the pivot plan, and this is what we're rolling with, and this is all new for us.
I tell you
So
what, I don't believe, or I don't look how delayed that is. I don't reckon. Well, I reckon that YouTube will not get unplugged.
probably not.
Yeah.
I don't believe so either. And Rap, put something up in front of your YouTube screen on your computer. I'm telling you, I put something in the way. I'm not looking at at the video feed. I'm only looking at the comments.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good with it, man. I'm
Yeah,
fine.
I'm not looking at anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and look at this. I got the wifey actually looking on the TV in the room, see
Really.
how it looks. She says,
Oh,
"Oh, this
I
is
could
great."
put it up on the TV.
That's what I was talking about. That's
Yeah,
Look,
why, exact reason why I wanted to do this.
I got the
Because
TV right next to me.
people could see it on the TV and they could comment on their phone,
sit back.
and we live, baby. We are
I,
live. We are back.
I
We're
love the
back.
enthusiasm. This is great. I love it. I
We're
love it.
back.
So
Welcome to my.
after much anxiety over what was going to happen after we watched the app go away, and trying to pivot sooner than we wanted to, we have landed ourselves on YouTube. So,
And we're back. And we're back. And we're back. And we're back.
she says it looks cool.
That's awesome.
I'm happy with it. This is good.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm on my TV doing comments on my phone. See, now I got to get Nina to do it.
See, I see. This is so cool. Like, this is exactly why I wanted to do it this way.
So this is how I did our replays for a couple weeks during Christmas break, because I had the YouTube channel up on my TV and I just streamed it off my TV.
I hope we can edit this for sure.
Oh, we
We
could
should
sure
be able
edit.
to.
Yeah, we
We
should
just
be
got to go
able.
back and edit it. Now I don't have to be up till 2 a.m. trying to download this thing from my phone.
Because it's already downloaded.
So
Exactly.
let me ask you this because we should probably start thinking about getting started. It's yeah 7:56.
7:56.
Can you do you see anyone in like a waiting room waiting to come in, Corby?
No, I don't. There's no one in the waiting room.
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
All right, because I know Erica was in the comments. I'm not sure
Candace, welcome
where
in.
the rest of them are. So I just I hope they find their way is all.
So once they get in, it's just like going into a regular Zoom. So once they click into the link that we sent them, it'll put them in the waiting room, and Corby should just be able to let them right in. Correct?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
simple. I click on the button. They're here.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
it
cool.
tells us when they get into the waiting room.
Welcome, Aaron. Welcome, Candace.
Well, why is he missing Biggie? Why are you missing the fun?
Because
I
he
don't know.
wants to be. He's talking about being up on the panel.
Yeah, Biggie.
Where will you come up here?
Yeah, get your ass up here.
Man. He's trying to come up now.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I don't see anybody else trying to come up.
How did Biggie not get the memo that? And we told him yesterday.
Hey, we told him to come up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on up, E.
Biggie, you're
He's
up in the big box this week.
he's like, I'm just gonna go over to TT and funnel everyone over. 13 people and
Selma, what's
welcome.
up?
Hey, Selma.
Selma, what's going
Welcome
on?
in.
Welcome in.
I like the way this feels. I'm liking the way
Yeah, this
this
is
feels.
it's different, but again, this is the direction we wanted to head in, and I'm hoping that all of you will start. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe.
Yeah.
And honestly, with the way things have gone with TikTok, and we're not sure how volatile it's going to be. Again, we know that it's a 90-day extension. We want to make sure that we're always going to have a platform for you to come and watch this show. So, right now, the tentative plan is to stay on YouTube. Um, so please, if you know anyone who is a follower of BME and enjoys watching what we have going on every Tuesday, please be sure to lead them towards the YouTube channel, have them subscribe so they can get all the notifications, and they can join us here every Taco Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific.
That's
Don't
right.
forget that our sister chat, VSG Bestie, has Talk Barry to me every Sunday night, same times, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Don't forget that BME and Talk Barry to me are up for Best Bariatric Podcast Rock Stars at JBY. Uh, we are also all individually nominated in many of the categories this year. So we are excited. Voting starts on February 1st and it will extend out to February 28th. So be sure, keep your eyes peeled for all of the information on the voting and make sure that you get out there and you start voting for all of your favorite bariatric content creators. What
Okay.
is happening?
How's it going tonight?
What
All
is
right.
up?
You're late.
Yeah,
No, I was
welcome to
doing
the
my
show.
job.
Leave,
I was fucking
I'm
people
doing
over.
my
leave it to the
job.
new guy. Leave it to the new guy.
You failed us.
No. See, I was funneling people. I was in there. Selma was in on TikTok earlier. There was a few people up there that I
No,
see are over here now also.
no, we
I,
thank you. Thank you guys. And thank you for everyone for coming on over to YouTube. I know this is a little bit of a change and a big pivot. And I know that the other platform is everyone's safe haven and safe space, and we did miss it for the 14 hours that we did not have it in, in the palm of our hands. But we want to let you know that if you do travel over to YouTube, this is exactly the same exact space we had over there. This is a safe space for all of us in the bariatric community, and we are here to highlight the men in the community and to give them a voice every single Taco Tuesday. Oh, you're gonna make me
Absolutely.
switch this.
I can't flip mine.
What do you mean you can't flip yours?
See how you failed now?
Yeah, I failed.
See how
You didn't prep and prepare.
Yeah. All right. Well, it was nice. Oh, how's yours straight? Mine didn't flip.
I prepared. That's why.
prepared for
Tony's
this.
is fine.
I was ready for this.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're gonna roll with this.
Should we
Yeah.
do intros?
Um,
You
sure.
know what? Let's do some. What intros do you want to
Let
do? Because
let
this is the
let
new
let's
platform.
let's do the shit like Chicago Bulls intro. Like I need your height, and that's about it. You ever heard the Chicago Bulls intro?
You're damn
Now
right I have.
entering,
Yeah.
right now entering Tony Doyle,
At
five
at 5'5".
at 5'5", coming in at X
Five
amount
foot
of pounds.
five. All right.
Talk about a delay, man. I tell you.
Stop looking at your screen, man.
Well,
Yeah,
he said
don't leave-
5'5", a little late.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All
Anybody in the
right.
waiting room yet?
I'm,
We got a
I'm
waiting room.
sorry, I have to do this, and I hope I don't get kicked. I don't get us kicked off.
What, Tony?
You don't hear it?
Uh-uh.
No.
Oh, this is horrible.
Oh, you
That's
try to
all
play
right.
music off your phone?
Of course I am.
Nah, it won't. It won't interfere with the live. We got one person in the waiting room.
We got
Uh-oh.
one in the waiting room.
Who's
All
going
right.
Should we
first
bring
one up?
them in? Should we
Yeah,
bring them in?
let's
Let's
bring
start
them
bringing.
in.
Let's start bringing
Bring 'em
people in. We're gonna let them funnel in. We have a really great show lined up for you tonight.
We
We are
have two people.
talking. Oh, nice.
Uh-oh.
We are
Uh-oh.
talking with the queens
Duo.
of the bariatric community tonight.
Let's go, ladies of the bariatric community. Arisa and Shar. How's it going?
Oh, look at this.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, I love the hair.
I don't have anything pink on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I can't hear any of you guys. You realize that, right?
You guys are all muted. They got to
You're all
unmute
muted.
themselves.
Unmute yourself, please.
We'd
Welcome
like
to
to
the
hear your
platform.
voices.
Welcome to the platform.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
How was everyone's Tuesday?
Eventful.
Anyone have
I
tacos?
almost said Monday because this is the beginning of the week for me.
What's up, y'all? Welcome in, Erica.
Yeah,
Welcome
welcome
in.
in.
Welcome in.
Tara, welcome in.
Erica, if you're talking, you're muted as well. Just a heads up.
Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
Can you guys
same.
hear me now?
And we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Got you.
Yes.
Erica, are you still where are you in the vicinity of what area?
Dallas. I'm in Midlothian, so I'm like 30 minutes south of like actual Dallas.
Okay, I'm in like North Park, Dallas. So
Yeah,
all
so
right.
you're like 35 minutes away from me, probably.
Wow, what a cool shirt, Erica.
I know.
Let's see.
Let's look
Heck
see the
yeah.
shirt.
That is a cool shit. You model that for
Heck
us.
yeah.
Also, there's something in the back. I didn't know there was a party in the back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The little
gotta-
party
you
in
gotta-
the
Yeah, you got yourself a
back.
little. You got a
Yeah.
little crown there.
Gotta put the
I
queens
didn't
on
see it
there.
until I was putting it on. I was like, oh, I didn't see this when I looked at it earlier.
Oh, nice.
That's crazy. We got more people in here right now. I got so many family members here. It's crazy.
I love this. See, all we had to
Let's
do was get us to YouTube, and now everyone will come in.
Now
Let's
we're
go.
proving rap right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're waiting on one more person, and then let's
Yeah.
get down to this conversation. We could probably start conversating right now. You want to get
Actually,
started?
Yeah.
I just want to know, only because you guys said you guys are down in Texas and stuff. How's the snow down there?
Yeah.
Whoa,
Which is the
Dallas doesn't have
craziest thing ever.
Houston has snow. Dallas doesn't have. My mama called me this morning like it's the apocalypse. I was like, relax. It's just a couple inches.
A couple inches of snow shuts down the entire state.
No,
Yeah.
seriously,
No, literally,
legitimately.
the schools are closed. The second they
The
show us
schools,
over here.
schools are definitely closed. It's
The schools are
crazy.
closed.
We have snow on the ground, and it was 7 degrees this morning, and the kids are out waiting for the bus.
Yeah, the schools are shut down. A lot of transportation. The mail didn't come today, so I don't have my shirt.
Not the USPS mail.
I was just like, you know what? And I left the Northeast, so this is very much not what I subscribe to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'm
So-
trying to like I have my laptop open so I can see like the YouTube comments, like so I could see the comments and stuff, and then I have my Zoom on my phone in the background. So if you see me looking down, it's because I'm looking at the YouTube comments.
It's okay. This is all new to
We're
us. We're
good.
staring at the
Yeah.
YouTube stuff too.
So we just received confirmation that Miss Natalia is experiencing some technical
No,
difficulties.
she's here.
Oh, here she
Oh,
is.
she's
is
made
here.
She made
There
it.
she
Okay.
is.
We have everyone in the building.
Nice.
Welcome, welcome,
Hey,
welcome.
has everyone had their bariatric vitamin?
Of course.
I did.
Hey,
And anyone who ever saw Erica on Talk Barry to me will know why we need to have our vitamins.
And
Yes.
ironically, I'm the one that didn't take it today. You know,
Oh,
don't
yes,
feel
she did.
like I
She
do.
took
Shame.
it.
Shame.
Oh
What's up,
man.
Nat?
What's
Hey,
up, Nat?
Nat, welcome.
hey
Welcome
now.
in.
Sorry, I had some technical difficulties, so I'm a little late. I'm on
Well,
my iPad.
It's okay.
we're
No such
glad you
thing.
can
It's
make it.
okay. As long
You
as you
made it.
showed up.
You made it right in time, friend.
Okay, cool.
So I have to say that it's a pleasure to have you ladies here to join us. We normally don't have women on the panel, and we had a discussion between the four of us that it's time to pay some homage to the women that support us so much in this community. How can we make that relate? How can we help? Share an experience as a male um, in that community, as in this community, and how we can better support the woman of this community. And Corby came up with this idea. Um, if you'd like to share, Corby.
So I felt that women, you guys represent a lot of not just the community, but I've always been curious to know how relationships with men have changed in either the community or not in the community. And I felt that because of your impact and how you've shown up for us as being me, I always want to know what would it feel like, or what does it look like for a man to show up in a woman's dominant community? Like, how
So,
can we be there
and
for
I
you?
want to give some visibility to this because I'm going to have a moment of just like self-loathing, like I was until Corby had sold me on this whole like he had to explain this whole idea out to me. I was dead set against this because I was gonna die up on the hill that I was never gonna have a women's panel for on BME. And it was one of those things where it's like this is supposed to be about highlighting the men's journeys and everything. And as much as I appreciate the support that we get from, all of the women in this community, this was supposed to be, the men's space. And when Corby presented this idea, I originally had pushed back on it. And when he explained to me the whole concept behind it, I really couldn't like come up with an actual reason to be like no anymore. And um to show like just how far BME has come and to be how big of a community live this is, and to show our appreciation not only for the four of you on the panel with us tonight but for all of the women in the community, um, how we can be more supportive in all of your journeys is really what it's about, being a community live, not just about the guys. Yes, our focus is male based, but as a community we want to be able to provide stuff for the community as well, and show our appreciation to all of you.
I think this
And
is a
just
great first step.
good, good.
Mm.
I
And
think,
just a
yeah.
disclaimer. Tony loves women. Tony's not a woman hater.
No, I'm
Just a
not.
disclaimer. I know I know that came off at first like
It did. It came off really bad, but I want to show like just like even I have my faults, and even like again, it's when we form this thing, it's never been about like being a toxic male environment for us to all gather in. It's always been about, being able to share our journeys and stuff. And that was the main focus of BME. But again, like there are ways that we can show our appreciation. And again, our main group of supporters are women in this community. There is no BME without all of you.
very true.
And like again, we sent out merch for you guys. Like honestly, like our appreciation to show how much we love all of you guys. And again, like Shar, you're in the background of this all the time. Arisa, I know you're in the background. I mean, we're all part of this community, and how do we show support for each other is important. And having this collaborative effort tonight is a testament to all of us and how we can unite the community, be as one, and to show our appreciation for each other and how we can support you.
Hmm.
I love that. I'm not gonna let you die on that cross alone because I was right there with Tony. I really genuinely did not feel like it was a space for women to be on in the panel because I felt like it was something that was exclusively for male, and then I also wanted it to hold that integrity of it being what it is, the Barry male experience. We were there to be spectators and support the men. So when this came about, I was also in the spirit of being a tourist. We're very stubborn, so we were very much like. But we understood that realistically, this community is predominantly female and our voices matter too. And we're very cognizant of that when BME came about. Otherwise, they wouldn't have me in the background. Um, so, but ultimately, I think this was a great idea. So shout out to Corby on that one and
Yeah.
definitely Tony for also just being flexible about it too. So thank you for holding space for us, guys.
But also
Oh,
for
no problem.
this is an important topic for us in our healing process too, because for me, I got a lady who is a bariatric patient also too. So being able to understand how to help her better along her journey is also helping me along my journey to improve on my end also.
For sure.
Exactly.
For sure, for sure.
So
So
for
women,
go ahead,
I was
Corey.
gonna say, so ladies, I want to know maybe the first question, and probably each of one of you have a different response. What does it look like for a man to support you in this community without being too much? Because I know there's some guys that be like, "Oh my God, you're killing it, you're awesome, you look beautiful, yada yada," and they're really just trying to shoot their shot.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, what is a like actual legit way a man can show up without seeming
What is not too much?
too
Can I
much?
answer first?
Yeah.
Sure.
So I, at the time, he was just my boyfriend. I was dating my now husband before I had surgery. So our relationship was what it was before I even decided to have surgery. We started dating. We were dating for a couple of years before I decided to have surgery, and now since then, now we're married. We've been together for 5 years. I think the best way that he was able to show support for me was to just listen. I have this saying with him, like just close your ears and or close your mouth and open your ears and just listen. It might not make sense to you, but that doesn't mean it doesn't make sense to me or that it's not my truth. Because I
Hmm.
went through like such a hard emotional couple months after surgery. I don't know if it was the hormones changing and maybe the men don't understand that side. I don't know if they go through the same emotional changes as the women do, but I was going a little crazy. I was off my rockers for quite a bit and I had to just tell him like, "Hey, I just need you to just listen to me sometimes. Stop trying to come up with an answer or a resolution. Sometimes just listen. That's all I need sometimes." And I think that is like a really good way for showing it for people.
Yes, yes. I like that. I like that. You know why? Because there's a video that I showed some of my patients. It's called The Nail in the Head. And the concept being is men are very solution focused. So if they see a nail in your head, they just want to pluck the nail
Mhm.
versus the idea of how are you feeling about the nail being in your head?
Yeah.
Because they can't just remove something. Men want to remove the pain versus the idea of processing pain. So
Mhm.
yeah, I appreciate you sharing that.
And that took months for me to come up with. It wasn't something I just got right out of surgery. It took me months to realize what I needed because I was going through that for the first time myself as well. So I didn't know until I learned that myself. So it might be different for other people, but that was just my experience.
No, I agree with Erica so much. I think women go through so much emotion changes as, hormones change in our bodies, and a lot of hormones change after bariatric surgery. And when you're expressing these emotions to a man, a lot of times they're like, it's okay, you're going to be okay. You remember why you did this. And it's so surface level. I think it shows so much how they support us if they just listen and they're like, your emotions are valid, how you're feeling right now. It's emotional. You went through a lot instead of just surface level. everything's going to be okay, because we know everything is probably going to be okay in 3 months. We just spent years watching other people document their journeys. But when we're in that, we just want to be listened to. We want to be understood. And we want to know that you understand that our feelings are valid. And we don't want to feel so crazy either sometimes.
Gotcha. Appreciate that.
What about you, Bestie?
Oh, I was giving Arisa the floor, but
Oh.
yeah, I'll jump in. So I guess I'll start with the space, right? So a lot of times I understand that in the bariatric space, there is some interesting dynamics, right? Because there are people who maybe aren't used to certain types of attention, and also vice versa. They're not used to giving certain, now they have the certain confidence and they're giving out this energy. So, you just self-regulate as men. It's very important because I think a lot of times what you think is supportive can come off as creepy. And sometimes, realistically, these women are also trying to figure out this new body, this new space, and that can be a little bit tough, right? When you have like this guy who's like still figuring out how to shoot his shot, but it's coming off as like borderline harassment, creepiness. And I'm sorry to take it there, but I don't sugarcoat anything. So just be mindful of your wording, right? Where you think you're being supportive, and that woman can take what you're saying as being rude. You're saying you look great, your body looks great. Now it's like it went from being a compliment to being an inappropriate statement. So I think as men, just be conscious of the things you say, because while you think your words don't hold power, a lot of times people sit with those things for years, and sometimes they can be hurtful, sometimes they can be damages, sometimes they can be counterproductive to someone's, you know, evolution and growth. So just being mindful of what you say and how you say things. And I get it. Sometimes we say things, I say things all the time, but especially when you're dealing with women, and especially in an era where we saw the Me Too movement, where things could be taken from just a regular compliment to something completely left. So just something to think about.
Mm.
Yeah, and Bestie, to add to that, I'm assuming you're talking about, because I get these types of compliments all the time, and yes, they're complimenting me now, but when men say things like "you look so good now," yes, they're complimenting me, but they're also taking a dig on the past me. So instead, it's nice to get compliments like, "I can see how much work you've put in. Your hard work is really showing," things like that, like complimenting the journey instead of just the appearance, and maybe giving a compliment of saying, "You look so great now. How about you look great?" Like, period. End the sentence at that.
There you go. Perfectly said.
I appreciate that.
Arisa?
I guess one, being a person that only had brothers, right? And coming here, I feel like my thing is the best way for men in the community and just in general is kind of like the airplane mask, the oxygen of taking care of themselves. For me, like I experience like people that are not happy with themselves still in the journey, that then I have to deal with it. And so for me, is if men like what you do for men and have the mental health or Tuesdays now after, like them taking care of their mental health so they can be a better leader to themselves and to others, is how I feel is the best way for you guys to help us.
Mm.
Now, you guys talk about like just the comments that come off, and sometimes if someone does take it too far or they do cross a line, have you guys come across a situation in which someone has crossed a line that it became confrontational between both of you, between you and the person making the comment?
Well, y'all know I don't shut the up. I'll say what I have to say. So, like, if I feel some type of way, I say it. But I know not everyone is comfortable advocating for themselves in that way. So, sometimes I will step in for other women, but I also feel like where's the accountability from the male's point? You know what I mean? Like, you're an adult too, and you're responsible for the things that come out of your mouth. So, I can advocate all day and night, but ultimately, I'm not responsible for the things that come out of another adult's mouth. So,
All right, all right.
Mm.
I was just thinking here, going back to this concept of how like men kind of at times are very objectifying with their comments. Like I like how your body looks now, and not differentiating between your body and your journey, right? Because your journey is what got you here versus your body, right? And I was thinking about how like what wording could men maybe say to give a compliment without feeling like it's just about your body, but it's more about your health. It's more
I
about
I see
health
your
releasing.
determination. I see your
Okay.
hard work. I see, like the things that are not necessarily tangible, but are meaningful. So I think women want to hear those things as opposed to being like, man, you look like a snack. Like, granted, sometimes you want a compliment, but sometimes you also want to know that people see what was beyond the surface level. I put in hard work, so that required determination, that required consistency. Wow, I could see your consistency. Great job. Like that means more to me than, man, your body looks like, because
Mm.
whatever, that fades over time anyway, regardless of whether I'm bariatric or not. So that means more to me if you see my consistency and my determination and my hard work and my ability to show up for myself.
Hmm. See,
Okay.
I'm sitting on here. I'm just, I've just gotten into a relationship here just recently. Thank you.
Okay.
Um, but before then, it's like I'm like learning because like they're I'm old too, and I'm just learning. But yeah, I never knew what to say so it wasn't taken the wrong way, it really means a lot for you all to share these different ways to express, how well someone is doing in their journey, not to come off so creepy. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great idea. It's great things being shared here. So I appreciate you all for that. In a text earlier, E, you had brought up a couple of questions in our text. Would you like to share some of those?
Yeah. So for me, like one of the things I still struggle with too is being supportive, but not being overly supportive to where they feel like I'm putting them down. What do you guys make it seem like that someone could be over supportive, being too harsh and too rash with being supportive and helping you guys in your journey?
I have a input for that. So when there's this comment that I would get early on in my journey, it's like, you look great, keep going. It's like, who are you to tell me to keep going? Like, how do you not know I'm already at where I want to be at, And it's like they mean it with good intention, and I know what they're saying, but it's that keep going part that always got me. It would just take away the compliment immediately. It would take away the support. I'm like, I think just the keep going, it's like, you look, you're doing so well, or something like that, but the keep going part, like, just drop that, because it's like it just takes away the whole, part of it.
I see the guy's eyes and they're like, what is going
No, because
I'm
and
over
honestly,
here taking
like I'm
notes.
sitting here
Yeah.
and like and Bessie, you know that how much I try to comment and be a cheerleader within this community and try to show my support for everyone. And now everything is racing through my head about like, what have I said to everyone? Like,
Yes.
did I
Yeah.
go overboard here?
You
Because
were
I try to
you
be
were
the most
terrible.
supportive person.
Horrible.
And but this is again, this is a smudge of humility on my face of like, you know
Mm.
what? This is what I need to hear. This is like,
Yep.
how do I be more supportive and to be mindful about what I do say? Like, the intent might be great, where
Right.
I'm trying to be supportive, but where does the compliment become almost an insult in that way?
Yeah. And I want to also, since we're talking about it right now, Janae made the comment. She's like, I've never ever felt weird with any of you guys. I also agree. I've never felt weird with any of you guys, or you guys have never said anything that's ever made me uncomfortable. So don't overthink it too much.
I'm an overthinker.
Oh, like I said, a lot of these guys in this community are very, very helpful. Not a lot of them are out there that are going to be talking bad. But again, it's just one of those things where we don't know when is too much. How's
Yeah.
it that it turns into a negative for you guys. So that's what the importance of this Zoom is.
Now, do you think that, and to look from it from a male perspective, now, do you feel that some of these comments where they may come off very, maybe they come off off-putting, do you think it could be like the social awkwardness that they could have been in when they were in a larger body?
Course, I think so.
And
I think so. I don't know that I mean, just a lot of factors, right? It could be they were formerly not in a social environment. The pandemic made a lot of us socially awkward, myself included, and I've always been a social person. So like there's so many factors. So I do extend grace, but that doesn't automatically mean I have to, right?
yeah,
So yeah, that can play into it. I think some guys, and I say this respectfully, I seen it in spaces and I'm like, oh, he's probably still figuring out like how he's, presenting himself in these spaces because you didn't always have the light. Maybe you would play the background. Maybe when you were a bigger guy, your role was something different. Maybe your role was to be the funny guy. Maybe your role was to play the background. So I get those dynamics as well too. So I extend grace whenever I can, but when it's like over the top, I'm like, all right, this is where you're going to learn because all of y'all have women. This is when you all have women in your lives, right? You have mothers, you have daughters. So, like, we're talking about bariatric women, but this is how you're going to show up for the women in your life, too. So, this is important for those situations as well, because how you show up for women in general is important. The takeaway from here is not to just learn how to talk to bariatric women, but also how to talk to women as a whole, right? Because we get disrespected a lot in society, not just in these bariatric spaces. Like that's just a small segment of our life. We still have to go to jobs. We still have to go out into out in the world, and we deal with a lot of stuff. And maybe it's just me, projecting, but I just from talking to other women, I see a lot of women struggle just navigating, even at the gym. And maybe Nat could speak to that a little bit because I know she's a gym rat. So I don't know, have you experienced any of that?
I I did kind of want to talk about a story that ties into this. So I was dating a guy who he used to be very overweight. He became a bodybuilder as well, and he was projecting things onto me, and he was trying to be supportive, but he did take it too far with me to where I was like, this is my goal. This is where I talk to my doctor with, and this is where I should be at. And, I want to do it slowly. I don't want to do anything crazy. And while he was empowering me, telling me you can do even more, you can do this, shoot for the stars, it came off very pushy. And while we were working out together, he was like, you can do more, you can do more. And it's like, hey, I was like 300 pounds last year. I kind of have to take it slow and like just also understanding what that person's goals are. It wasn't my goal to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks, which is what I felt like he was trying to push onto me. And just understanding like what are your goals? Like when I see that someone lost a lot of weight recently, sometimes you have to ask them, hey, was that intentional? Sometimes if you're like, oh, you look good, you look good. What if they were sick?
Mm.
It's such a touchy subject, not just for women, but for men and women in general. I think the key things while you're giving support is to remember what their goals are and how does this person want to get to their goal and how can I support them and just be there for them.
Right.
Okay. Can I
I
ask
think,
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to add too that a lot of men don't realize that the way that they like to be complimented is not the way that women like to be complimented. I noticed that a lot of men, and I'm not speaking for you guys, but just something that I've gathered myself with experiences from men that I have around in my life, they like the compliments on their bodies, and they like, oh, you look good, you look like you're getting muscles or what, that gasses them up. And it's like sometimes, that could be like a touchy way to compliment a woman on her physical experience. So I just think like just recognizing that the way that men like to be complimented and women like to be complimented is like could be very different as well. Because it's like just because you would take it in a positive way doesn't necessarily mean a woman or someone else would take it in a positive way.
That's so true because I've had women compliment me on body parts that I do not want men complimenting me on.
Right.
Just that's the truth.
Right.
That makes to look at you guys. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So then, when is the attributes of your character become the complement versus the body? Like when does it become safe for a man to make a compliment to the body versus the character?
For me personally, I would prefer the compliments on my appearance or my body to come from my husband and my husband only. But that's just the way that I take it. That could be different for someone who's single, but that's just my answer. Typically, if I'm married and a male that's not my husband compliments me on my body, I just tend to get like a little, like, it just kind of creeps me out. It's just a little weird. But again, that's just me, and I'm married, so I don't know if that's different for someone who would be single, or it's just, I guess it's just a preference. There's not going to be like a one standardized answer because everyone is different.
I think there definitely has to be some kind of level of like a flirtatious relation going on. I know a lot of women, they might not start off by complimenting a man's body. It might start off with maybe just rubbing his arm, things like that. And I feel like men should kind of be paying attention to that. And of course, like after like the first date, maybe that's not the right time. Let there be emotional intimacy before we try to create a physical intimacy is what I believe in.
I can take
Do
that. That's awesome.
do do you women find that there is like a certain support that you would look from a man in the bariatric community that would be helpful?
What do you mean?
Not that you actually like look for the support, but what type of support from men in the community would be helpful to you as women?
I'm gonna go back to the point of where most of us on the panel, whether we like it or not, we're content creators, right? Don't
Mm,
just like the cleavage picture. And share the
yep.
other stuff too, because a lot of these women are doing great things in the community, but because you're just focused on her physical appearances, you're only engaging with the things that your eyes are drawn to, as opposed to, oh wait, she has this grocery list in her link tree. Let me post this. Oh, she's got this coaching class. Let me post that. Like, show interest in other things outside of just what looks pretty in the picture, in my opinion.
Yeah, like there's a couple that come to mind, and of course I'd never say who, but just there's some, like, they'll only engage with the before and after
Mhm.
photos. They'll never engage with the, like, what I eat in a day, or it's just always the before and after photos, or the transitions or something, or the,
Only the glute workouts.
yeah. And we as women, we pick up
Mhm.
on those things and we
Of
notice
course.
those things, and sometimes these men, maybe they're doing it and they don't even realize they're doing it, but maybe now that you're hearing it from us women, you can take this with you and realize, like, hey, maybe I am doing that and you don't even realize you're doing that.
And if
Mm,
you're doing it,
I
at
think
least be smart about it. Share the other stuff.
I think men know that they're doing it. Subconsciously, some of them are just not aware. I
Yeah.
think men, they'll see the physicality of a person and be like, "You're hot," but it's because I
mm,
physically see that you're hot. Versus the idea of you're emotionally hot, you're spiritually hot. There's concepts to you that I can't see, but I'm physically drawn to what that looks like on you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That should be like a note. You should put that in the comments.
So, Natalia, you spoke earlier about how, when you were dating this guy and he was trying to push you, right? My girlfriend and I, we're getting ready to start going to the gym. What would, what would, how could, how could you all see a man being supportive and hold you accountable while you are, like working out, or while you are trying to reach your goals? What would how could he hold you accountable without, pushing you?
So I think, like, of course, taking her to the gym is
Mm,
a lot of support as it is. I think the main piece of advice is for you to say, okay, what's your workout plan going to be today? She wants to do squats. She wants to do this. She wants to do this. Okay, when it comes to the squats and she's like, hey, I don't feel like doing this. No, no, babe. Remember, we said this is the plan. Let's do this. Instead of, maybe you guys went to the gym together, and in her mind, she's like, okay, last week I couldn't do 3 sets of squats. this week I want to make sure I do 3 sets of squats. How do you think she feels when she's, oh my gosh, I completed the 3 sets, and now here you're like, you can do a fourth, you can do a fourth, when
Right.
it was the plan. Her goal was to only be able to do 3 because she couldn't do that last week. So I think just knowing what her plan is ahead of time and holding her accountable to her goals instead of you projecting your own goals onto her, if that makes sense.
No.
I appreciate that.
I think it's also important to note that not every woman is also looking for you guys to hold them accountable. Like, sometimes we just want you men in our lives just to be supportive, but like crushing it. Like, you hit your water goal, you took your vitamins today, dude, you're crushing it. Like, we're not necessarily looking, we're not like having you like engaging with your content and wishing you to engage back with us to necessarily hold us accountable. Like, I have people in my life that help me hold accountable, and those are people that I chose to put those in their place. It's not automatically just because we follow each other, I'm asking for you to necessarily hold me accountable. Some people might be looking for that, and some people might not. So you just have to, like, I guess, figure that out for your guys' selves. Like, is this person looking for that? Is this person not?
Absolutely. Just
I
like you guys don't want your wife to act too motherly, we also don't want our husbands or whoever we're dating to act too fatherly either. There has to be some kind of balance.
Now,
I
Arisa,
get that.
I saw you smiling and shaking your head yes over there. What's your take on this too? Because I know this is something that me and you have been working through and trying to figure out also too, and it's still a constant battle. So how could I go about helping you more without overstepping that boundary and pushing that boundary too far?
It's a conversation. Like, one of our first conversations in the beginning, because we're both berries, was like, if what game happens. So we had that conversation. What do you want me to do for you when I start seeing it as your partner? And we both wanted 2 different things. Me, do not say nothing about the way game. Like, do not. I said, but make sure, if we haven't been going to the gym or haven't walked, start doing, like, hey, let's go. If you see I'm not eating enough protein, cook me more protein. Like, I personally do not want to hear I gain weight. That is no, and it's going to be bad for you. Like, so don't do it. But I do want, but I know, and that was the thing, is like seeing people that you gain weight and there's no one say anything or do anything to help you. I don't want that ever in my life when it's your partner. Like, so I do want someone, my partner, to be aware that if I'm, it's getting around, to like kind of help me, but not say anything, because for me, it would hurt my heart for whatever reason. So I would rather someone, and I'm an act of service love language. So doing those things, taking me gym, cooking for me would be love and getting me back on track.
Someone put in the comments, lead with questions, not with statements. So for example, if you know, I'm just going to talk about me and my husband. If I looked at my husband and thought that maybe he might be gaining weight, and it was something in my mind, I know that vocalizing that to him would probably hurt his feelings. So instead of testing the way that I would test the waters out, I'd be like, hey babe, I'm going for a walk. Do you want to come with me? Hey babe, I'm going to go to the gym. Would you like to join me? Or instead of, hey, get your ass up, let's go to the gym together. Like, you just have to know how to like word things and lead with questions instead of like statements, exactly like that person said in the comments. Yeah. I think that's always a safe way to go about things. Do you want to meal prep together? Is there any recipes this week that you would like to put together? Like, those kinds of things. Lead with those questions, because you're also like fishing to see, like, hey, are they comfortable with how they are? They'll be like, no, I think I'm going to sit at home. Or maybe they do want to change. Yes, babe, I'll be ready in 15 minutes. Let's go together. They'll give you their answer by their response to your question.
I agree with that, because I recently married, and one of the things me and my wife would do is we'll go walking at least once a week together. The rest of the times I'll go walking, I'll go on the bike by myself. But she felt like it was an expectation out of me to get her to go walking with me. And the reality was the fact of something that we talked about, and it became something she felt was pushy, because I'll let her know, like, hey, you're supposed to do this with me. And no one likes the concept of being accountable if they weren't necessarily ready to be accountable in that element. But now, like, we've come to this conversation of like, hey, the next time you go to the gym, just let me know. So it's like, okay, cool. I'm not pushing it, I'm not overdoing it. I understand that you're going to be ready on your time, not because I said I want you to be ready. Because I'm not here to coach you, I'm not here to father you, I'm here to be your partner, right? Not someone to feel like I have to tell you what to do, but share the aspect of if you want to share this with me, you can.
Mhm.
Awesome. I think it's very unique to every individual relationship, especially if we're talking relationship. Some people want that accountability partner in their spouse or significant other. Some people don't want that pushiness. So it's important that you did have that conversation because otherwise that creates unnecessary friction in your relationships, right? For me, I'm competitive, right? So my hubby doesn't have to tell me anything. He'll just send me a picture of his Stairmaster like numbers, and I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here. I'm about to, like to me, like that's like go mode, right? So, but that's the dynamic of that relationship. That may not work for other people, but I think that communication piece is important, regardless of whether this is your girlfriend, your spouse, or whatever. Like you have to talk to people. It's almost like the concept of consent, right? Like you're not just gonna be like, push something on someone without being like, hey, is this what you want? Right. So
Mm,
like have that conversation. It's still a consent thing regardless, because that can be intrusive, it can be invasive to somebody's just energy. Like you can throw somebody's whole day off, putting something on someone that they're not ready to receive in that moment, especially because women, if we're on our menstrual cycles, we might be feeling different that day. We might be processing the body dysmorphia that day. And it's like, look, I'm not trying to hear this right now. So, like, that consent piece is important, even when we're just having these types of communications, too.
hmm
So in situations that I'm just thinking only because of like the amount of people that come through the community, and all of us, I know that visibly, I know that all of us have been in the community for quite some time, and we do see new people come through. Um, and there are times, when you first come into the community, you don't have that empowerment that you may have further down the line. What advice would you give to women coming into the community that, when they do start this journey and they do start to get compliments, or they start to get comments from, men on their journeys, and maybe someone does cross that line? How do you empower them to be able to speak and say, hey, you know what, that, this is more about my journey, not about what I look like? How would you empower them, or what advice would you give them?
I think that person has to be ready to set those boundaries. They
Mhm.
have to be, because some people want the flame emojis and the DMs slid up on their thirst traps and their before and afters, and more power to them. If that's what they want, that's what they want. We can't determine that for them.
Yeah.
But if someone were to come to me specifically, I would never just approach someone and be like, hey, are you comfortable with that, comment or anything? I would let them, come to me. If they came to me, then I would just tell them, like, they have to be willing to set boundaries, and they can, if something's making them uncomfortable, the block button is free. If they're willing to have the conversation, if they're more of like a conversing or confronting person, they can message the person like, hey, that was like a little weird, or that made me a little uncomfortable. It's really just going to depend, like, person to person, because I mean, like, it's so hard to answer these questions because I know everyone is going to be different, but just
Yeah.
my opinion.
How do
Yeah.
you,
mm,
can I, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, if someone, and I get messages like this all the time, I feel so uncomfortable with all this new attention. How do you navigate them? First off, I remind them, there is so much to you than your body. When people see a massive weight loss transformation, it's sad that some people think this way, but a lot of people, they are very surface level. That is just how it is this day and age. And a lot of people just see people for how they are on the outside. And that can hurt when you feel like you've been invisible and you lose weight and you're getting attention. It's like you feel even more invisible now. And I just would remind them, you are more than what you look like. And you have to find your self worth from kind of within, and not put so much on the outside world, because if you're thinking so much, oh, I wish these people would compliment me on my journey, I wish they would notice, you know, my taste in music, the way I think, you're always going to be chasing something that might not ever happen. So if you just kind of find it within, no matter what type of compliments you get, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Can I ask, how if you had a significant other or you currently do have a significant other, how have they processed the change that you're experiencing or the
So
attention that you're getting and things of
yeah,
that nature?
yeah. So things have been complicated with my son's dad and I, but I have been with him for, you know, he's seen me at my heaviest, and he lets me, it's weird. I asked him, I'm like, you know, I got so big, like you never said anything. And he said, I always loved you for you. And I didn't realize how big you got until after you lost the weight. And I think it's because I've always embodied so much confidence with myself, and I've always had so much self-love. And I never would tell him, oh, I feel, now I do. Now I do. Now that I'm 150 pounds, it's the body dysmorphia sucks. But I never would tell him I feel insecure, I feel big. I never had those conversations with him. And yeah. But he always tells me like I kind of loved you for you. And I think it was kind of my energy. Of course, when the medical issues started happening, he was very supportive of me trying to lose weight, because, you know, we have a son together and I want to be a healthy mom for our son.
I think for me and my husband, we've had a couple of conversations, not to bring out him too much or not to air him out, I guess, but there has been moments where he gets a little insecure about the attention that I get when we're out. Like we go to the bar together, we go out together, we're in public, and people like, you know, assume he's my brother or not my husband or like a friend or something. They've like come straight up to me and like he just kind of gets like a little offended, but he has to remember like it's nothing that I'm doing. It's like something that other people are doing and I can't really control that. I can only control my response to them. And he knows I would never pay attention to them, or I would never feed into that or anything. And I know that he's working on, you know, his own internal insecurities and stuff, and he's dealing with that himself. But just knowing that it's not like just because you're now getting more attention and your partner might be jealous or might be a little insecure, that doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You're only responsible for how you respond to that person. And that's all that we can do is dictate how we respond to that person. If your partner is making you feel badly because you're getting this attention and you're still not responding to it in a certain way, then that's a whole different, you know, topic that's between you guys to figure out how you're going to navigate that. But thankfully I don't have that problem. But yeah. Yeah, someone said not the brother. Yeah, we're literally both blonde with colored eyes, fair skin. So like we could honestly, it's kind of weird, but we could probably pass as brother and sister. And they've literally, oh, your brother. I'm like, that's my husband. Great.
No, not weird at all anymore. No, kind of similar to Nat. I've always been like very full of myself in so many ways. Like I wouldn't know I was as big as I was. I've always carried myself very confidently. So I think he's used to it. And living in New York City, you get a lot of attention just like from any and everybody. Like even the bodega cat is trying to talk to you. So like like there's no he's kind of accustomed to the attention I would get. And I'm also kind of I'm wearing a hot pink wig, guys. Like it's hard to miss me. So it's one of those things that I think us outside of like my physical appearance, I think he also sees kind of the stuff because he's in my lives, he's in you guys' lives a lot of times. So he gets to see the dynamic of, you know, communications amongst people. And everybody knows this community can get a little messy. The whole phase hits certain people differently. So and it's openly talked about in the community. So of course, there's always a concern of like, hey, we good? We good? I'm like, yeah, we good. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I think ultimately is that communication. I know that there are a lot of bariatric divorces, and that doesn't have to be everyone's case, right? Just don't allow that to make you feel like, oh, shit, if I, you know, keep losing weight, I'm going to lose my spouse. No, that may have just been an issue that happened prior to you even losing the weight. But I think that you have to be able to differentiate those things and have that communicate. It always comes back to the communication. As tacky as that may sound, you got to talk to the person you're with. Like if you don't talk to them, then there's a disalignment there, and it's bound. Shit's gonna hit the fan eventually at some point. So if y'all not talking, then somebody's gonna get the walk in and exiting stage left. So, that's just kind of how that goes.
Mm. We got about 10 minutes left with you all, and we've talked about how men can be supportive to the woman in the bariatric community, but we did not touch on how men outside of the bariatric community can be supportive, or the weight loss community can be supportive. And I've come up with a couple of things that I've heard from you all during this conversation, like being a better motivator, complimenting the effort, be a sounding board, so on and so forth. Help with meal prep. And the one thing that stuck out a lot to me was to respect her pace, whether that be in the gym, whether that be her her eating habits, how she's eating, how she's losing the weight, so on and so forth. I don't know if there's anything else you all want to add to that, but those are some of the things that I have written down in my notes.
Someone had said this earlier. Men, their approach is very logical. And, they hear their woman having a problem, and oftentimes it's their first instinct, and they mean this well. They mean this with love to kind of fix the problem. Sometimes we know what we need to do to fix the problem. Sometimes we just want to feel heard.
Mm.
So maybe instead of just trying to jump to a solution, just listen.
Don't give the unsolicited advice. Just
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
Or ask the question, is this something you want me to help with?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
on the
I
flip
think
side, there might be a woman who wants that support and a little bit
Mm.
of a more proactive approach, but like ask the question. Don't just assume.
Yeah.
It
so.
doesn't make you weird to ask straight, like, are you looking for advice? Or are you looking for someone to vent to? Just straight up, and then do whatever she asks. Like it literally just comes down to being that simple and communicating, like Bestie said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stay curious with your partner. It's kind of one of the things I've learned is this is a journey that they're curiously learning about themselves. So you have to be curious enough to know to ask questions of how they feel throughout it. Like be kind and courteous of how you ask questions. Don't ask questions for a solution or a response or to get a specific answer, but be vague at times and be like, how are you feeling about you right now, today, this moment?
Mm.
And that goes a long way. That goes a long way. Oftentimes if we're in a relationship and our partner over weeks hasn't asked us anything, it feels like they're not invested either. So asking questions, being curious, I think that goes a long way, and that shows a lot that you do care.
Right.
Mhm.
So
Well,
5
you want to say
minutes
something?
left, Tony.
I was gonna ask one more question. What is a question you want a partner of yours or a male that you know to ask you in life? Like what is a question you want a significant other or a friend that's a male to ask you? Just one.
I think that like just keeping it simple, like how are you? And like genuinely mean it. Don't just like, there's like everyone's like, "Hey, how are you?" and then they skip over like what you actually just said. Like genuinely mean it. Like, "How are you?" Like sit down, make a space for them to feel comfortable and talk, invite them to lunch or breakfast or whatever your thing may be. How are you? Like let's chat. And then like you can tell your part is yours how you're doing as well. Like actually mean the question when you're asking it, because we know when people are just like, "Hey, how are you?" and they don't actually mean it, they're not actually curious about how you're doing. Like mean it when you're asking it.
Yeah, like tone is everything. I think another thing is, hey, what is something that you're proud of this week?
Mhm.
That opens up the door. Hey, I was able to do this. Oh, that's amazing. Has it been your goal to be able to do like 40 minutes on the Stairmaster? Actually, yeah, I've been trying for like the past 6 months, but this and this has been getting in the way. Oh, and then it opens the door to talk about things I'm accomplishing, things I'm proud of. And then naturally, I'll talk about, yeah, these are some things I'm struggling with as well.
That's a good one.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not topping that.
I have learned so much just by sitting on this panel tonight that I
I'm
just
in.
never thought again, humility to the nth degree. Ryan, thank you for leading this panel tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you to the four of you for being here on this panel tonight and opening my eyes. As much as you guys say that, like, oh, we've never heard anything come out of your mouth that has been, this is more things for me to think about. If you're a guy in the comments, for any of the guys here on the panel, this is stuff that, again, we are constantly learning. And that's what it's about, learning about each other in this community, how we can be more supportive. And again, things that we probably don't think about because we don't have these type of discussions. And I like that this discussion happened tonight, and I hope it leads to more discussions about how we could be more supportive, to you and not only to, to all of us.
I
So
know
I
we only
really
have
appreciate
2
all of you
minutes,
being on
but
here.
who else had a take? I know you had your takeaway, Tony, but Rab, what did you take from this? Corby, what did you take from this conversation?
I can't top that.
Shar had to get me off my soapbox.
Yeah, because you're at least you're like speaking on it, right? But like Rab's just
Yeah.
like, what does that actually mean? What does that what realization did you just have?
It's just the same. It's the same as no, really. It's the same as Tony. I learned a lot. I'm in awe about some of the things that I've probably expressed in the community when I've commented on people's posts, how it may have come across. It gives me a little bit more respect. Not that I didn't have respect for the women in the community anyway, just with the words and how I present and how I express, that I'm proud of my sisters in this community. It really means a lot. This live came out a lot better than what I had anticipated, because again, this is a place for men to share their experiences and learn. And that's just what this panel did for me. So that's my takeaway.
For me, I learned that less could be more. You don't need to necessarily keep on
Yeah.
driving home everything, pushing them harder. That just doing the simple things will go a long way in helping them get to their journeys.
I love that.
For me, it's just be open to hear people out, but more so let people express their emotions on where they're at and listening and to not respond or react, but listening to receive so they can feel heard.
All right. This was such a learning experience. I love that for you guys.
It was.
Hey, that's what we wanted. We were able to learn some lessons from you ladies.
So we are on the hour. It is 9 p.m. here on the East
Let's
Coast.
go.
Again, thank you all for coming here. This is our very first panel on YouTube, so we thank you for being the very first guest on the YouTube channel. This was great. It was definitely different than being on the other platform, but better than I ever thought it could be on this one. But another way I can show my support for our very own sister chat. Don't forget to check out Talk Bari to Me every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. Shar, are you staying on the gram when you are doing all of your lives?
I'm gonna be everywhere. So wherever you have a social media platform, I'm there.
She is out there and she is making moves. She is shaking up the
Next
community.
week we'll have Dr. Clapp coming in to spread a little
love Dr.
love.
Look, and why you all are here, and those of you in the comments and on the panel, why you're here. If you're not already following or subscribing to Talk Bari to Me, hey, you're here now. Shoot on over to Talk Bari to Me on YouTube and subscribe for sure.
That part.
And don't forget to follow us. on
Yeah.
YouTube.
They're here.
Come
They
on
know.
over.
Hey,
Make sure you click that little bell.
And
another
follow.
thing. Yeah, another thing, Natalia and Erica, I love your shirts. Arisa and Bestie, yours is coming. It's
They're
there.
on
It's
their way.
One day.
yeah, yeah. And
I got a hat though.
yeah,
Yes,
you
you
gotta
do.
if any of you in the comments are interested in any of that gear that they're wearing, it is in our shop in our link tree. So check it out while the prices are low. They're set at my price right now, at our price. So you better take advantage. You got about 24 hours. So hey, other than that, man, what a great episode. We appreciate you all's time again.
Thank
And
you.
this is amazing. Thank you so much.
And thank you for letting us have this space as well. A lot of men just kind of like avoid things because they don't want to learn. But you guys really were like, you know what, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take it, and we're gonna learn from it. And we really appreciate that. That's the best thing that you guys could possibly do.
There you
Yeah,
go.
we thank all of you. Again, there is no BME without the women in this community and the support that we get from you guys. So thank you, and thank you for helping lead other men to the to this platform and helping them find their voice.
Mic drop.
All
Thank
right,
you,
Raph,
All
ladies.
you want
right,
to take us away?
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming out. See you next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.
Love.
Oh,
All right, y'all.
bye,
Bye,
Have a
guys.
y'all.
good night, everyone.
Hey, join
Good
us on our
night.
mental health shop talk.
Yes.
Mental health.